Matt Stafford, 5 touchdowns in this game, 3 in which came from Davante Adams. Matt Stafford now leads the NFL in touchdown passes with 17. This was pure dominance. Jacksonville didn't get a point on the board until the fourth quarter. You go over there a day early, and I think you might have realized the rest of the league is going to follow suit, because this seems to be the strategy that's conducive to success, I guess, because this was an absolute tail kicking for a team that just beat the Kansas City Chiefs, right? A couple of weeks ago, you're looking at Jacksonville. Well, maybe they got something here. Maybe they still do, but they certainly did not Sunday morning, Jank. This was a beatdown. What did you make of what you saw from your Rams on Sunday?
No, that's exactly what it was. And, I think this is a credit to Sean McVay, who had these guys ready to go, just like he always does in London. Now 3-0, outscoring teams by, I think, like 70 points now. It's insane, and Matthew Stafford is insane. He now has the all-time record for touchdowns in a game in the international circuit, and you can see why. I'm glad everybody, that got up in time, because, my West Coasters out there had to get up at like 6 a.m. to watch this game. But everyone that got up in time was able to see, like, Matthew Stafford has been doing this for a while. And I think people are finally starting to see, like, there's no more like, oh yeah, he might be in the top 10. He's top 10. No. Like, he is one of the best quarterbacks. I believe him to be right now the best quarterback in the league. I think it's him. I think it's Dak. I think Mahomes is up there. Josh Allen. I really think he's no different than any of those other guys, but I think he's making better throws. And that's been the big thing for me, is that, people will just write it off because, they'll be like, well, Jake, you're just a homer. But I mean, there's stats to back this up. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the red zone numbers. He has 14 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He's the only quarterback with 10 plus touchdowns in the red zone and 0 interceptions in the league. And he has a 7.5 EPA in the red zone with 109.3 passer rating. Yeah, he leads the league in big time throws, touchdowns. I mean, he's been sensational. 109.3 passer rating on the year. So I think when you look at the way he played without Puka Nacua, I think we can finally put to bed this ridiculous idea that Puka Nacua was the one making Stafford. Stafford's been doing this, and he did it again. And you can say what you will, but the same people that were saying Davante Adams was washed, well, he caught 3 touchdowns. Now they're saying, well, he has Davante Adams. It's like, you can't have it both ways. But it was raining. Really impressed with the way he played. Impressed with the offensive line, the way they played. The run game, I kind of had a feeling coming into this game they weren't going to really commit to run the football against that Jaguars defensive front, but I'm glad. I like the game plan. Stupid penalties, Jesse, alluded to, last episode, and of course Brando also mentioned this is a boneheaded football team. They're very talented, but they're boneheaded, and we saw that. And there were some bad penalties that they probably shouldn't have been hit with. But that's what happens when you develop that kind of, reputation. Refs know that they have an easy thing at you. So, I think the Rams, people were looking at, I can't believe Stafford only had 180 something yards. I mean, I thought he threw for 300. Well, he didn't, because the Rams had such great field position throughout the game. The Rams defense held the Jaguars 2 of 6 on 4th downs. Just really an incredible job. The defense had 34 pressures, 7 sacks, really just picked up where Seattle left off, which is why I was confident they were going to win this game. I just didn't think they would win it like this. They really couldn't get anything going. They basically abandoned the run almost instantaneously with Travis Etienne. And when they did that, I felt like they really just did not have a chance. Trevor Lawrence, I thought, did a nice job not throwing away the football, but there were some dropped interceptions as well. So you look at this game, I think the big thing that you take away is that the Rams fixed the red zone woes. Will that continue? We'll see, but they fixed them 4 for 4. That was something I said last episode they're going to have to work on. That was a big reason why that Ravens game, which should have been probably 35-3, ends up being a 17-3 ball game. And then, in addition to that, obviously the pass rush is always going to be there, but everyone, including myself, has been very critical of their corners. And this cornerback room has looked actually pretty good the last few weeks, and not really getting enough talk. And Darius Williams against his former team had 4 pass breakups in this game, was outstanding. He was everywhere. I love the way Chris Shula was mixing things up, sending home, the Quentin Lake blitz is huge, takes him out of field goal range. You got the Nate Landman blitz that works to perfection. I thought Omar Spates did well coming back from injury, but I think this team is absolutely, in my mind, the best team in football. And I was waiting for them to put out what I believe they are, and I think they kind of showed you that in the first half of that Eagles game. This was the game I was talking about. And to go, off to London and you just get there. You just arrive there. The Jaguars were there for a while. You were practicing in a baseball field, and to do what they did, I just don't think that you can really undersell how important that was. And they go into the bye at 5-2. They went in the bye at 6-1 the year they won the Super Bowl, or rather, for the first 7 games. And get this, folks, because everyone acts like the Super Bowl team is way better than this team, and this team has all these flaws. And I'm talking Rams fans too. These Rams fans, I'm telling you guys, since they lost to the 49ers, a lot of fans don't want to buy into this team for whatever reason. But I'm telling you right now, they've scored more points than they did in 2021, and they have allowed 20 fewer points than they did in 2021. It's time for people to start realizing this defense is elite. It might be the best defense in football. They're second in scoring. And if the offense starts to catch up and they're going to get Nakua out of the bye, just watch out, because this team can beat anybody, and they can beat anybody in any type of way.
Rams are no doubt legit. And to your point there about the loss to the Niners, it feels like every team up until this point, whether you think they're great or not, has one of those losses on their resume that their fans can't believe that they lost. It just feels like every single team in the mix right now has that. That's why we've had a tough time figuring out who's really good and who isn't, and who's a Super Bowl contender and who isn't. It's been a wide open year. So before we get to the best time of the show, though, let's give a shout out to the best real money wagering and fantasy platform out there, and that's our friends over at Sleeper. Now, I crafted up our own little sleeper slip here so that we can just get right into it. This is what I came up with, fellas. Let me know if I'm nuts. I got my Jordan Love free pick in there. I threw that in. Then we got Thursday Night Football coming up here in a couple of days. I got Ladd McConkey, more than 55.5 receiving yards. Justin Jefferson, more than 82.5 receiving yards. I was kind of stunned to see that the Vikings allowed Jalen Hurts, rather, to do what he did the other day. He had his best passing game all year by a mile. He went nuts. So I'm thinking McConkey might be able to put up some numbers in this one. And then Jefferson, I don't know who's throwing him the football. It seems like Wentz is going to be their guy for the foreseeable future. That is the longest lasting ankle injury I've ever seen that J.J. McCarthy is currently nursing right now. But this is what I have. If you want to tell this one or create your own, of course, link in the description below. Click that, sign up for Sleeper, and you'll get a 100% match up to $100 when you use the promo code RTS. In addition to that, you don't even need to make a deposit to check out Sleeper. Once you download the app and create an account, you will instantly get a free $20 wager to use. So go check them out. Link in the description below. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper